All right, these are the day 2 notes for Unit 7. I'm going to try to go relatively quickly through them and kind of pick out the important things that you really need to know. So to start with, when I solve exponential equations, if my bases are equal, then the exponents are equal. So when I look at this first one here, my base is 4, my base is 8. They are not the same. But my powers of 2, I know that 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. Now, I already have a 3x up there, so that needs to stay up there as well. And 8 is the same thing as 2 to the third. And again, I have an x plus 1, so that needs to be up there. Once my bases are the same, I just set my exponents equal. So 2 times 3x is 6x, and then I distribute 3x plus 3, and now I'm just solving an equation. I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides and divide by 3. So I can do the same thing with the second example. I can turn 32 into a power of 2. 32 is 2 to the 5th. All right, so let's look at the next type, which is if you can't get the same base, you're going to put it in logarithmic form. So remember that when I change from exponential to logarithmic, this is the base of my exponent, that's 2. 2 is also the base of my log. And then you swap the other 2. And once you have it like that, use your calculator. So you do alpha window 5 to put it in. So the green alpha button, the window button, the 5. It looks like this on your screen. And you'd put in 2. You'd put in 7, you'd hit enter, and it tells you x equals 2.807. Now, this one, it was already by itself. If it's not by itself, you want to get first. So for C, my first step would be subtracting 4 from both sides. So 10 to the 2x minus 3. If I do 21 minus 4, I get 17. And now I'm going to put this in logarithmic form. So this is log base 10, because 10 is the base of my exponent, is the base of my log. And then I swap of 17 equals 2x minus 3. Now remember log base 10? Anytime you have log base 10, that's this log button. So you can actually use this and just put log of 17. It tells me it's 1.2304. So this is 1.2304 equals 2x minus 3. I'm not done yet because I need to get x by itself. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. 4.2304 equals 2x, and then divide by 2, which gives me x equals 2.115. So 2 methods. One, if you can get it to be the same base, then you can set the exponents equal, or you put it in logarithmic form and solve. All right, if I have logarithmic equations, kind of the same deal. If I see that I have the same base, like I do here, I can cross it off and just set these equal. 5x minus 1 equals x plus 7. So this is just an equation to solve. I'm going to subtract x from both sides, add 1 to both sides, divide by 4. If you don't have the same base, we're going to put in exponential form. So again, my base of my log is 5, my base of my exponent is 5, and then swap these two. So 5 squared equals 3x plus 1. We know 5 squared is 25. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and then divide by 3. Okay. On the back side, remember that natural logs are just log base e. So I could also write this, instead of writing natural log of x, I could write log base e of x equals negative 2. And then I can put this in exponential form. So there's my base is e, swap these. Negative 2 equals x. Your e button on your calculator is located in blue above the ln button, above the natural log. So I would hit second ln, and then negative 2. And it tells me 0.135. And just like before, on the other side, before I do this, I'm going to want to get the natural log by itself. So on this problem, I would first subtract 1.1 from each side. So I get the natural log of x squared equals 4.9. Then I can bring this 2 down, right? Because I can change this. This means 2 times the natural log of x equals 4.9. And the natural log is log base e of x. So now I want to get this by itself. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And then I can write this in exponential form. E to the 2.45 equals x, or x equals 11.588. Okay, so if you're given an exponential form with e, you're going to change it into logarithmic form. So this would be log base e, right? My base stays the same, and then swap the other two. 18 equals x. Well, log base e is the same thing as the natural log. So in my calculator, I can just use the natural log button of 18. Gives me 2.89. And again, if it's not by itself, we need to get it by itself first. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. And then I'm going to put this in logarithmic form. So log base e of 1 equals 3x. Log base e is the same thing as natural log. So I can use the ln button on my calculator and say ln of 1 equals 0. So I get 0 equals 3x, or x equals 0. All right, those are all the important things from the notes for day 2 of Unit 7.